Have you ever woken up in the morning and thought, is this life really mine? I have, many times. Sometimes I wonder if my decisions, beliefs, even my inner desires truly belong to me. What if they all come from my environment, society, or influences I don't even notice? I want to share something with you. How many times have you felt like you're playing a script written by society? I've lost count. While constantly conforming to the roles assigned to me, I almost forgot to hear my own voice. To be approved, accepted, to belong. How easy it is to put our true selves aside for these things, isn't it? Do you know Carl Jung? He was a pioneer of depth psychology. He showed me a truth: life begins when you find yourself. Truly begins. But what does finding yourself mean? Is it just saying, I'm like this, I'm like that? Or is it a journey that goes much deeper? I want to explore this with you. Because I'm also a traveler on this path. And I want to share what I've learned along the way. Jung's most striking discovery was recognizing the depths within us. You know, mental health isn't just about conforming to social norms. No. Jung called it individuation, a journey toward your true essence. Think about it. Most of us believe we're happy when we receive external validation, achieve success, or fit in. But deep inside, there's always a search. Do you feel it? A lack, a restlessness. As Jung said, real life begins when you stop running from your essence. Why can't most of us find ourselves? Let's think. From the moment we're born, we're given identities, names, roles. Before we even have a chance to think about who we are, we're taught, you are this, you should behave like this. Do you remember your childhood? I remember. There were moments when I expressed myself freely, then I faced reactions. You're too dreamy, why are you so emotional, those thoughts aren't appropriate. Over time, we started hiding certain aspects of ourselves because of these reactions, didn't we? Jung calls this the persona, the face we show to the outside world. A mask we wear to be loved, to be accepted. But here's the interesting thing. We get so used to wearing the mask that after a while, we start to believe that the mask is us. Yet there's so much more inside us. Then there's the other side of the coin. Jung calls this the shadow. What we don't want to show, our repressed fears, desires, vulnerabilities. Perhaps even the potential we're afraid to discover. Let me ask you something, have you ever disliked someone for no reason? Or felt sudden, inexplicable anger toward someone? You're sighing, I can see. Yes, the things we can't tolerate in others are often aspects of our own shadow that we hide. Funny, isn't it? The things we criticize most are often the parts of ourselves we're afraid to face. But Jung's most beautiful discovery is this shadow isn't our enemy. It's the missing piece of our wholeness. And psychological growth happens not by destroying that shadow, but by accepting it, integrating it. When we accept our own darkness. Wow, believe me, tremendous power and freedom come with it. Let's pause for a moment now. Are we ready to strip away external appearances and look at our true selves? This isn't easy, I know. Because reality can sometimes shake everything we believe in. According to Jung, what we think of as ourselves is actually just a small surface of the huge reality inside us. Forgotten memories, repressed emotions, unexpressed desires. They all form an inner world within us. Have you ever felt an inexplicable longing? That feeling of, there should be more. This isn't just imagination. Your subconscious is calling out to you. Jung calls this the call to individuation. True satisfaction comes not when we gain external approval, but when we achieve an inner wholeness. But, for this to happen, we first need to face what we've hidden inside. And this is where most of us stop. Because looking at yourself honestly, facing your fears. It's not easy, is it? It requires courage. Think about how we constantly try to stay busy. Work, social media, TV shows, music. We always want to fill our time with something. Why? Because we're afraid of being alone with ourselves in silence. We don't want to hear our inner voice. But no matter how much we run, what we repress doesn't go away. It comes back as anxiety, self-sabotage, troubled relationships, or an endless feeling of being lost. Jung says our subconscious is constantly talking to us. But most of us choose not to listen. Yet if we listened, we'd notice recurring themes. We'd see how our wounds affect our choices. We'd understand how our repressed desires secretly drive our behaviors. Think about the fear of rejection, for example. Does that sound familiar? Many of us are so afraid of being judged or abandoned that we constantly seek approval. We avoid conflict, hide our true opinions. Where does this fear come from, do you think? Are other people's opinions really that important? Or does it stem from an older wound? Perhaps moments in childhood when we felt worthless or invisible. According to Jung, this fear isn't just an emotion, it's an unacknowledged shadow piece. And as long as we don't bring that piece to consciousness, it continues to control us from behind the scenes. But, when we face that darkness, that's when we become free. When the fear of rejection no longer controls us, we feel free to express ourselves. We don't hesitate to voice our desires, we can act without needing others' approval. What do you think is the part of yourself you avoid the most? It's a difficult question, I know. It is for me too. Jung shows us doors to the subconscious, dreams, symbols, and creative expressions, art, writing, music. These are windows into our inner selves. When we examine them with curiosity instead of running away, we begin to reclaim our true selves. Most people spend their entire lives estranged from themselves. They follow the paths presented to them, lacking the courage to deviate. They suppress their emotions for society's expectations. They don't even know where they truly find happiness. But you have a choice. You can break free from these illusions, shed the old fears that cling to you, and bring out the most authentic, most courageous version of yourself. Let's go a bit deeper now, shall we? Let's talk about the collective unconscious patterns Jung called archetypes. This idea revolutionized my mind, and perhaps it will do the same for you. Jung believed that every person carries universal patterns. Patterns inherited from our ancestors, part of the collective unconscious. These archetypes influence our thoughts, feelings, behaviors, often without us even being aware. Think about the hero archetype, for instance. The part inside us that calls us to a greater purpose, that wants to face challenges. The desire to transcend boundaries and reach a higher version of ourselves. But every hero has a shadow, doesn't it? Repressed fears and sometimes undiscovered potential. Have you ever felt resistance when you knew you needed to change? Have you ever pulled back due to fears when you had the opportunity to transform into a stronger, more mature version of yourself? This is the conflict between the hero and shadow within you. Most of us try to suppress the shadow. But Jung says that true transformation happens when we accept the lessons the shadow brings. When you feel inadequate, have you ever questioned the origin of this feeling instead of struggling with it? Where does this feeling come from? Is it really mine or a belief others instilled in me, have you thought? Perhaps in this feeling of inadequacy, there's a learning opportunity. Perhaps it's developing a more humble side of you, one that can think more deeply, one that's open to different perspectives. In Jung's perspective, our troubles are actually messages from our subconscious. It's trying to show us something. One of Jung's discoveries is the concepts of anima and animus. He said every man has a repressed feminine side, anima, and every woman has a repressed masculine side, animus. This isn't about physical gender, it's about the energies within us. Anima represents intuition, emotion, creativity, while animus represents logic, structure, discipline. When these two forces are in balance, we feel more whole. But when we reject one, inner conflicts arise. A man might suppress his emotions and see vulnerability as weakness. A woman might find it difficult to assert herself, to show willpower. But when we accept these aspects, balance and power emerge. Perhaps Jung's most valuable discovery is this: finding yourself means embracing all your parts. Light and dark, feminine and masculine, familiar and unknown. They're all you. Individuation isn't about becoming someone else, it's about bringing together all the aspects that already exist within your essence. Our biggest misconception relates to the nature of what we think of as I. Most of us see our identity as fixed, unchangeable. But Jung says the truth is much more fluid. What we call I is actually a constantly changing, flowing structure. Memories of the past, ancestral heritage, collective unconscious. These form a multi-layered reality beyond a single I. Our identity is much broader than we think. Jung explains this with the concept of self, different from our ego-based self, containing wholeness and transformation potential. This is both liberating and a bit frightening, isn't it? Learning that what we've thought of as ourselves for years is actually just a small drop in a vast ocean. Why do we feel limited? Why do we experience fear and pain? The answer lies in the ego. The ego isn't the enemy, it just creates a sense of self. It draws boundaries saying, I am this, you are that. These boundaries define us but also limit our potential. But remember, you're not just a single identity. You're a continuously changing, evolving being. When you go beyond who you think you are, infinite possibilities open up before you. How will we do this? Jung shows us a way: courage, inward questioning, and the willingness to let go of everything we think we know. The first step is embracing the unknown. People avoid uncertainty, but true transformation is hidden there. When you open yourself to the unknown with curiosity, you begin to see both yourself and the world with new eyes. The second step is getting rid of labels. You are not just your name, your job, your past, or your personality. You are much more than that. When you let go of rigid identities, space opens up for new possibilities. The third step is listening to the unconscious. Dreams, intuitions, sudden inner voices. These aren't coincidences. Perhaps your essence is trying to guide you. When you listen to these signals, you begin to notice synchronicities, to solve recurring cycles in your life. And the final step is surrendering to the process. Finding yourself isn't a destination, it's a journey that continuously deepens, unfolds layer by layer. And perhaps the greatest discovery is this: you were never actually lost. You were always here. The essence you've been looking for was already within you. Now I ask you, what will you do? Will you choose to remain within old fears and illusions, or will you open the door to the infinite potential within you? Remember, life truly begins only when you find yourself. And now you know the way. I'm a traveler on this path just like you. Sometimes I get lost, sometimes I find my way. But every day I feel a little more like myself. You will feel it too, I believe. Because that essence you've always been searching for was always there inside you. We just needed to learn to listen to it, to accept it. Feel that I am with you on your journey. Because we're all on the same path. And we progress by supporting each other, learning from each other's stories. Thank you for listening to me. Take care of yourself, listen to your inner voice, and remember, you are much more than you think you are.